not to the previous round, but to the next round.
Marcus.
Oh god, yeah, we're
Okay.
fucking still in hold. I
Yep.
had to. My things are on the wrong things. I had to put them back. Now the wrong notebook's open.
She was distracted by the character questions rather than focusing on the getting ready for the game.
I was. Oh my god. What the fuck? Fuck off. Jesus. All these fucking pop-ups. I don't care.
So what you're
Anyway.
telling me is Booker would dress as a rogue by like, okay, what's like just looking at his closet and trying to find the edgiest shit in his closet and throwing it on.
Like, I imagine he would. So right now he dresses kind of like a rogue pirate.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking of like ye old, like
Robin
full
Hood.
fantasy, almost Robin Hood level, or like the main character from Thief, right? Like full rogue. And he would have like a collection of knives and shit. Like more than he has on him right now, like a comedic amount of knives.
Oh my god. That's
like
I
magician
love
knives that just like pop out. I was like, where'd you have that? In my pocket because it was collapsed. I got it now.
He just leans into the stereotype. It's great.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking of it like there's a character who does that as one of the Halloween costumes in Monster Prom, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that idea. I was like, Booker would do that, but it would feel like kind of weird because he's already in a fantasy universe, but he would look more fantasy universey than he normally does, which is a costume for him. I kind of want Button to put like a spigot on their hat and dress as a water fountain.
They probably would.
Oh no.
It'd be functional too.
Shit.
What happened?
Just got a message from Twitch.
What?
They are changing their policies on highlights and uploads, which is how we've been storing shit. To where you can have a maximum of 100 hours stored. And we are well over that.
Oh,
Cyberpunk already has over like 200 hours, I think.
We gotta start uploading to YouTube.
Yeah, we gotta start going through the back catalog. Yay!
When is that gonna go into effect? Is it just gonna delete stuff?
Yeah, it says what it's gonna do is it's gonna start deleting the upload or the highlights that have the fewest views first. So, yeah.
That's all of them.
That's all of them.
Sorry.
It's true. Okay, I'll figure that out later. I was just checking my phone one more time and I saw that. Damn it.
Okay, we'll figure it out. We'll make a schedule. Uploading.
Okay. So, we will get to what happened to our two cyber individuals in a minute. We are going to resume with the current combat shenanigans that are happening outside in the physical world right now. So, we're starting as we did before at the top of the round. I don't know how to make the combat thing do its thing again. Like, I can't, for some reason, unassign Kaya from the slot. So it doesn't really matter because it's
okay.
Two good guy, bad guy, bad guy, good guy, good guy. So that's basically it.
Heard.
So, who's up first?
Unlocker, did you want to go first?
Don't you have boosts or something like that to give? Or
I can give you, one advantage.
Okay. Or if you have some kind of idea, you can go first.
No, because how bad does Kaz look?
Cause?
Yeah, he took a hit, right?
Yes, he did. He is at 90% wound capacity.
That's not good.
He does not have a lot of wounds.
Well, I need to move, and then I need to heal him, and that'd be an action, right? So if you want to go first, Lock. Yeah. If you want to go first, Lockhart, you can. I won't be able to give you the boost anyway.
Okay, gotcha.
Cosmic's
yeah,
built
I'll go
like
first.
legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Stimpack, Lockhart, hang in there.
It's good. We'll be fine. Yeah. Can Lockhart move? Can she get in front of this guy?
Yeah, she can run over here.
Cool. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty? Are you using just melee? It's 2. 2 purple
Melee.
and 2 black.
2 black, okay. And upgraded difficulty because
I don't think you have upgraded difficulty on. I don't think it's.
one.
Is it really? I thought it was on different tasks. I didn't think.
Brawn and agility.
Oh, okay.
The target increases difficulty of all brawn and agility checks by 1 until this critical injury is healed.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yay!
Okay. And a triumph. How are you spending your triumph?
Does it look like he has any weapons, or is it just arms?
If he has weapons, you can't tell because he's not holding anything.
Okay.
He doesn't appear to have anything on like a holster either. He does not appear to be wearing any technology that could be perceived as like weaponry. But you don't know yet. Not for sure.
Okay. I will upgrade the difficulty of his check then.
Okay. Fair play. So you deal how much damage? It says 2, but that does not seem right.
That is... Wait, what the hell? Why does the brass knuckles say 0 damage?
Yeah, that doesn't seem right.
Let me... I might have to re-add it to my sheet because it's not showing. Gear. Brass knuckles. Okay. It's okay. It says 0 damage on here too. What the fuck happened?
I mean, it does damage equal to your brawl, right? Like it's gonna use your brawn.
Yeah. My brawn's 5.
There was a Foundry update recently that might affect things over.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So I'm gonna say it does 7 damage.
Okay.
Because it's just 2. It is your number of successes plus your brawl or your brawn. So
it just updated. It says 6 now.
Huh.
I don't know.
Six doesn't make any sense either.
I don't know.
Huh. Let's just go off of your brawn.
Okay.
Your brawn plus successes. So that is 7 total.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do you punch him with brass knuckles? There's a fleshy part.
So I was thinking going for the legs since this thing is like super tall, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like kind of go for like the knee area.
Okay. So you like throw a hooked hit onto the knee, hoping to like make its leg buckle, and there is like a ting as you land against it. Brass knuckles are effective at beating fleshy targets, but these guys are heavier dutier than flesh, at least for their arms and legs. And is that your turn?
That'll be my turn.
Okay. Next up. Who's going next?
Hello. And me.
Kaya?
Yeah. I would like to have Kaya use maneuver to hustle over here. And, stop the bleeding.
Okay. So run over there and make me a medicine check.
Oh yeah, I could use dice. Like physical dice, I forgot. I don't have it out. This is faster.
Okay.
How many purples?
It'll be 3 purple.
Okay, doke. Where are my talents?
No idea.
Oh, there they are. Okay, I just had to toggle back and forth a couple times. It's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, so that's just adding more heals onto it. These are 3 purples, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, here we go. Come on, Cosmic, I got you, buddy. I do got you. Okay, so that's gonna be 3, but also. Oh, sorry.
3, but also.
An additional 3.
An additional 3?
Yeah.
Because of
surgeon.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 additional room per rank. I have 3 ranks of surgeon. She's here to heal.
Okay. So you stitch up Cosmic. He's looking good. He's still freaked out, but he is a lot better now. Ben-Getty is actually like kind of holding him up a little bit.
Yeah, it's combat. Things are fast. She needs something to seal the wound quickly. I feel like it's like heavy duty liquid band-aid.
Mm-hmm.
Just okay. Glob it on, smear it, hold. Ben-Getty, don't let him move.
Okay.
Then
that's your turn.
Mm-hmm.
So now it is the Claw's turn.
Oh no.
So the one in front of Lockhart is going to go first. Let me see here. Lockhart, I can't decide what I want him to do. So I will roll a die for it.
Okay.
Okay. He is going to try to grab you.
And it's upgraded the difficulty.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say that this will be a contested roll. So what is your athletics?
My athletics is 3 yellow and 2 green.
Okay. And upgrade the difficulty once. Big dice pool. Though not the biggest dice pool we've had yet.
Nope.
Okay. So he reaches down. This iron cut like perfectly steel arm with like very intense vice-like grippers snatches you by the throat and hoists you up, and it does the supervillain throat hold where he's holding you way off the ground by the neck, and the vice starts to squeeze. You are starting to suffocate, and he is going to spend 5 advantage. Let me see here.
Excuse me?
3. He rolled 4 successes and 5 advantage. He is going to... Yeah. He is going to make you drop your weapon. Which I think right now you are only holding the knuckles, right?
Correct. Yeah.
He hoists you up, and as you're getting grabbed, you panic, like go to grab at the hand to keep yourself like lifted vertically out of the grip enough to breathe well, and the knuckles just fall off your fingers. And he will push a blue with the other 2 to the next guy. And the next guy, this guy, is going to slap Marcus.
I want to double check real fast. Is that the appropriate story points, or should we shift one over?
Let's shift one over.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Thank you.
Good call. This guy is going to melee Marcus. What is Marcus's defense? He has 1 defense. Uh-oh. So Marcus is going to push a black onto the next enemy check, and he is going to get critted because this thing rolled a triumph.
God damn it.
Oof.
And I believe that's Marcus's 2nd crit. So
I need
Oh.
Marcus to stay alive and awake. I want to see him see Legacy be cool.
where is the crit table? It's in resources. No, it's not.
Do you want me to find it
And-
and tell you?
Hold on. I'm gonna post it in a separate Discord chat so I can just have it on hand. Here we go.
Can you put it into resources?
Yes. It doesn't have 150 plus, but I think 150 plus is instant death.
150 itself should be in Disney, I think.
151. There it is.
Instant death, yeah.
There we go.
Because you have like I think the last year, like gruesome injury, bleeding out, in Disney, and instant death, or something like that.
Exactly right,
Mhm.
actually.
Hey.
So, Marcus gets hit with a 45, which is bowled over. So this thing takes 1 step forward and swings its arm wide, like in a wide sweeping arc. Not really like, it doesn't look like it's trying to hit him. It looks like it's trying to like just move in a broad swooping gesture, but it moves very quickly. And then it hits Marcus and wallops him. He goes flying backwards, lands on his back, and rolls onto his side. He's not unconscious, but he is not looking good. And that is, and that was its action, and it's going to use its maneuver to, I'm going to roll for this too, because it doesn't have a preference right now. Okay. It's going to use its maneuver to start walking towards you, Kaya. In this big lumbering, like,
bad.
Okay. That is the bad guy's turn. Now it's the good guy's turn, or the other 2 good guys' turns. Cosmic will go first. He has to roll discipline or he is going to freak out again.
Come on, Cosmic.
But his discipline is pretty good.
You should have rev all of the brain cells.
That was a bad roll.
Oh no, come on. Cause you need a clutch.
He is like you slathered him in like wet Band-Aid to keep him upright and like put pressure on it. And he's shaking so badly from just the sudden anxiety that hit him, like, oh my god, this is literally life or death. And he like can't hold his gun steady.
Oh, no.
And he's like looking straight ahead at this thing that's slowly marching towards you, not sure what to do. He is petrified. So now it is going to be Marcus's turn. Marcus is going to stand up, which does that use the whole maneuver?
Yes, to go from prone to standing, I believe we'll use the whole maneuver.
Okay, then Marcus is going to use one maneuver to stand up, and because he is adjacent to a player character, he will spend 2 strain to get another maneuver, and he is going to run in front of this thing. And he is going to try to throw both arms up and grapple it or make it stop moving. So it is going to be a competing roll here. Whoa, 1 success.
That's all you need.
Threat, but 1 success. So this thing, like, as Marcus rushes in front of it, it doesn't seem to understand what he's trying to do. So Marcus like runs in front and grabs both of its arms and starts to push against it, like he's holding back like the tide of this creature's weight. And he stops it, and it just kind of stares above his head past him towards you, Kaya. And until it is completely stopped moving, it is staring ahead. Then it looks down at Marcus, like in this moment of realization, like, oh, there's something here. And that will be Marcus's turn. He has basically immobilized it. Top of the round, Kaya and Lockhart.
Hey, Locke, you doing okay over there?
Could be better. Could be better.
You want to go first and try and get out of that?
Yeah, that might be smart. Yeah.
Yeah, things are bad.
What would I have to roll to get out of the block?
It is your choice. If you want to stay grappled, you can start to try and like kick him in the head to do damage, or you can use your action to use an athletics check, a contested athletics check, to break free of the grapple.
So, what would I be rolling for if I were to kick him? Because it's not a weapon, right?
Be brawl.
Correct. Just brawl. And it would be 2 purple and 2 black.
I think getting out of the grapple would be good.
Okay.
So you said athletics?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And is it still 2 purple, 2 black?
No. For a contested athletics check, it's going to be 4 red and 2 black.
I have his big mouth and give a blue.
I have idea.
Uh-huh.
Hold on here. Okay. If Joe would allow me to do some bullshit.
Okay.
If Kaya goes first, I might be able to help if he allows bullshit.
Okay.
So Joe, I'd like to plead with you here. I've got a thing that lets her pull out some random bullshit, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know it, you love it. Deep pockets. I would like to know, so my intention here, right, is for Kaya to run up and pull out a medal. Now, the medal itself would be gallium. which is, element on the periodic table. Yeah, fun fact, it's a metal that's, liquid, or not, like, very soft at room temperature. Right above room temperature is liquid. Like, melts in your hand kind of metal. Looks like mercury, but it's not. You can safely hold it in your hand and all that. The intention here is that when you put gallium on a metal like, say, aluminum, what happens is it causes a reaction that makes that metal super brittle and causes it to kind of start breaking down.
Okay.
So, what I want to know here is, can I have Kaya have gallium, first of all, and 2, yeet onto Claw Guy to make him weaker, give, I don't know, debuffs, or give us buffs against them.
Brittle the hand up.
Yeah, brittle the hand up to try and make them not hit as hard or make us hit harder.
So, you can't throw it at him.
Okay.
I will let you use it if you slam it, like, with your hand. If you have it in your hand and slap it onto him,
okay,
it will debuff him. It will make him more brittle.
Bet, I'll do it.
Okay.
How far can I get with one maneuver?
You can get to probably this one. If you spend 2 strain, you can get all the way to the one that's Lockhart. That grabbing Lockhart.
I mean, she's in a chokehold. I feel like, yeah, I'll take this extra strain.
Okay.
Not doing too hot, but.
Hey, did you spend your XP from last time?
Me? Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
Okay.
I was going to suggest something that would be useful.
Oh. Whoop. She zeroed in. Q seeing read the song. 2 maneuvers and just skidding to a stop, pulling out the vial. And at first it's in her like a metal hand, but then she thinks, nope, not a good idea. Tosses it to her gloved hand, that's the organic one that's not made of metal, and will just slam it right into the guy.
Okay. You need to roll me a brawl check at 2 purple, 2 black.
Heard. I do have a couple ranks in this.
Good.
2 purple, 2 black. It's not that great. In fact, the bad dice are more, but you know what? It's something.
Before you roll, I think you're right. It's really not that great, but it's not too bad. So I'm gonna upgrade it. So it's a red, a purple, and 2 black.
I was talking about my stat. I wasn't even talking. God fucking fuck you. Okay. So it says what is it now?
Red, purple, black, black.
Red, purple, black. Fuck you. Okay. Fucking had a girlfriend for all of 12 hours and she's about to fucking die. Triumph! Fuck you! But okay. Hold on. I gotta do it. I just got excited about the triumph. That cancels out. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So that cancels out. These cancel out. It's gonna be 1 triumph, 1 threat.
Okay, so I will inflict a strain.
Okay.
And you got a triumph, so you can slap the gallium on the arm, or the leg if you want to slap it on the leg.
I feel like the arm, because it's the one currently holding Lockhart.
And it hurts.
Yeah. Okay. You slap down a fistful of gallium onto its arm, and it slathers onto it like paint. Like almost like magnetized paint as it coats the arm and makes it a different shade of like a steel color. It's more like got a sheen to it, and it's more reflective. And this thing just kind of regards you. It doesn't know what you did. It just kind of looks at you and looks at its arm, and then looks back to Lockhart, who is still choking in its grasp. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Lockhart?
You got this. I believe in you.
I decided I'm actually gonna go with the brawl because I don't like my odds with the athletics.
Okay.
Okay.
Where are you attacking it?
Can I kick at its arm where it got hit?
You can.
Sweet. So what's the dice for that?
2 purple. I will remove the black.
Okay. Sweet.
A despair? Oh boy. Okay. Iris, I will let
Yeah?
you choose. You have 3 success and 2 advantage. What do you want to do with your advantages?
I will. I'm gonna heal some strain, I think, for 1, and then I'll give a blue to the next person.
Okay. So you heal some strain and give a blue. Now on a despair, I will let you pick. Do you want the despair to affect you or to affect Kaya?
Is that even? It's obviously me.
Dude.
Okay.
Oh god.
I wanted to give the option out there, so like spread the love, you know. But as you struggle to like hit this thing and kick it back and like a few times in the gallium soaked part of its arm, you kick really hard and something dislodges, and now as you are kicking at it, there is a threaded narrow drill-like apparatus that ejects from the spot where its wrist would be, like in the middle of the pinchers, and you feel it press against your throat. You have unsheathed its weapon, and it will have a bonus to hit you with it.
God fucking damn it.
Okay. That's your turn, right?
It's my turn.
Okay. So now it's going to be this thing's turn. Having seen the gallium, its arm is weaker, but it is going to use its attack to try and drill Lockhart's neck.
Oh god.
Lockhart, what is your defense?
2.
2. Okay. Oh boy. So, this is a little weird, because it rolled a triumph and a failure. So,
Generally,
does it succeed?
Generally, how I run that is if I want it to succeed, and it rolled a failure, I count that singular triumph as its success.
Gotcha.
That's how I run it. So it doesn't get a triumph, but it does hit. Otherwise, you have to pick something from the thing that doesn't involve it actually hitting, so like a blue or black or something like that.
I will do this. I will make it deal half damage and not crit. Or I will make it deal whatever damage it could deal beyond your toughness, but it won't crit.
Okay.
So the drill spins up on its hand, and it starts to bore into your throat, and you can feel it. It's tearing skin and getting into the muscle tissue. It's not pierced your throat yet, but if you don't get out of its grip, it's going to. You will take 2 damage after soak. It is going to deal 2 damage to you, period. And that is all it is going to do on its turn. The next one is going to go after Marcus, because it is being stopped by Marcus. It's going to lift its arms and try to out-grapple Marcus.
Having flashbacks to Sibyl.
Oops. Nope. I don't want options. I just want the dice. Lots of dice, lots of dice, lots of dice. So Marcus is holding onto its arms, and then it just slowly pushes against Marcus's weight and starts to raise its arms, and Marcus just can't stop it from moving. It's too heavy and too strong, and it will lift its arms, and then it will grab onto Marcus's arms after pushing his up, and it will slowly start to lift him off of the ground, and it is holding him by his arms upright, and he's kind of like dangling, and now he's kind of stuck and doesn't know what to do. And that's going to be its turn as it just gets to grapple Marcus. Now it's Cosmic's turn. We're going to roll his discipline check.
He wanted to be in the field for so long. Come on, Bengetti, help.
I will give him a blue. That's all he needed.
Hey.
So he
Yes.
With the blue, he gets there. So Cosmic, like, shaking, he just breathes real deep, and then Bengetti pats him on the shoulder, and he's like, "You're gonna be okay, mate. Just focus. Please focus. Because I can't do anything, and I need someone to do something." And he pats him on the shoulder, and Cosmic just, like, his hands quivering, he will look down at the wound, and then pull the edges of her shirt to kind of cover it a little bit better. And then he sees Marcus dangling and Lockhart dangling, and he is going to brace the gun in his hand. He is going to move over here. He is going to shoot at this one. It doesn't have as good a range defense. There we go. That's a success. So Cosmic runs over and refocuses himself, and you start to see Cosmic pre-wound reappear. He holds the gun in, I forget the name of the stance, but it's the, like, arm, like, elbows splayed outward and the gun held close to the face. And he will take 2 or 3 shots at it. And he will hit. He will do a little bit of damage. So this one takes 3 damage. And that is Cosmic's turn. And now it will be Marcus's turn. Marcus is suspended in the air. So he is going to try to just melee it while he's held up in the air. He is just going to kick it square in the chest. That's pretty good. It's not going to do as much damage as he would with his arms, but it will do a little bit of damage. So Marcus, like, being held in the air by his arms, he just starts kicking it in the head, like where its fleshy bit is. And as he's kicking it, it's starting to bleed. Like, whatever flesh is there does have blood in it. And he kicks it 2 or 3 times, deals not much damage, but he's on the board. He'll take 1 damage. And then that will be Marcus's turn. So, Kai and Lockhart.
You got any ideas, Amy?
I'm thinking.
You still have the bolt gun.
Oh yeah, I'm right up close, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Bolt gun.
Go for it.
this thing hits hard, but it has to be point blank, which I am now.
Mm-hmm.
Just put it right up against its leg or some shit.
Mm-hmm. And, what do I roll for this?
I think... Hold
Range
on,
heavy.
let me open
Okay.
your sheet. Yeah.
I got you. Range heavy. 1, 2, 3. I don't have enough dice. It's fine. How many purples?
It is 2 purple, 1 black.
2 purple, 1 black, and I shall reroll one of these greens.
If you want to take one of those story points, Sammy.
That would be good, I think. Because I feel like nailing this thing to the ground is good.
Where are you shooting it?
Okay, does it still have Lockhart in its hand?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if I can...
Could a bolt gun to the narrow part of the arm break the arm off?
Oh, that's a good idea. Can I do that?
To shoot it on its arm?
Yeah, kind of break the arm off. If you won't let go, I'm taking your arm.
Yeah, like shoot it at the gallium part of its arm?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. And if you do that, it will have no black.
Oh, okay, so I take off the black. Okay, so just 2 purple?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and, I guess, use a point to upgrade it, because I don't like the situation.
Okay.
I'd like our brawler to be free.
And Iris, you flipped it back.
I know. I used my ability.
Yep. Ah.
It's the yoinkening. See, this is why I had to use my chance. I took my shot when I had
it. Here we go. Come on. Okay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so these 2 cancel out. 3 success, 2 advantage. I'd like to use those advantages to recover strain.
Okay, recover strain. And with... Let me look at this gun one more time. The bolt
7.
gun.
Like 50 bajillion damage or some shit.
It's got breach 1. That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you. Let go of my girlfriend. Put her down.
So you shoot it in the arm, and the bolt gun deals shitload of damage. So, I will let you choose. You can automatically have the free crit and sever its arm, or you can deal max damage to it and just hurt it a bunch, potentially killing it. I won't tell you if the damage you dealt, which is 18 damage, will kill it.
Iris, you're the one in its fucking hands.
Maybe I'm being risky here, but do the damage.
Are you sure? Z, do you agree?
Yeah, because Iris has been getting hits in, so she is doing something.
Okay. Alright. Damage.
Okay. It ignores 10 soak because of how the breach quality works. You lock and load it and shoot it. You're not shooting it in the arm any longer. You're shooting it like in its core to deal maximum damage to it.
Yes.
Or you would be. Yeah, so you just point the barrel straight at it, and you feel the gun like lurch with the shot. Your whole body rocks, and then you hit this thing, and it causes it to, in like an old school Western style, like almost comedic form, it jolts backwards and flies into the sea of tendrils, and there is a smoldering hole in its lower abdomen. It brings Lockhart with it because it is still grabbing her around the throat. But it like lurches backwards, and then it's kind of like splayed out there and leaking fluid all over. Like it is barely functioning, if at all. It's still technically alive, but it is basically going to die.
Curb stomp, Lockhart. Curb stomp. Double tap.
I'll also tell you, the bolt gun has 3 shots.
Oh. And there's 1
so you
shot.
have 2 left.
Okay. What'd you say?
Do you still have a maneuver?
Yes. I do. Do I have to reload it? Or is it just a bolt gun?
It's 1 shot at a time, so you have to pull the lever to load the next bolt into it.
Okay. I'll do that next time. And for this maneuver, I'm going to go ahead and do coordinated assault.
Okay. That's your advantage thing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think I upgraded things. No, I did not. Never mind. So, the Triadem. Lockhart, Marcus, and Cosmic. Advantage on me.
Okay. Bada boom. Lockhart, you are still locked in this thing's arm, but it seems to have gone a little bit limp. The drill is not spinning anymore.
Mm-hmm. I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So, these things don't take strain, correct?
Correct.
So, the palm stunner wouldn't really be helpful here.
Correct. Well, I would let it. If you got enough to crit with it, you could short it out and maybe stun it. I think that would be fair.
Okay. Okay. I guess I'm gonna try for that.
You're gonna try to hit it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and like hit in its arm area to try and short circuit it.
Okay, 2 purple.
Purple upgraded. And there's an advantage from Kaya.
Mm-hmm.
To success, to advantage. Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to use Lucky Strike.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna use a story point to
Thank you.
You're welcome. To add damage equal to my brawl.
Okay.
4.
So you're making it 11 total.
Yes.
How are you hitting it?
Hitting it in the arm, trying to keep getting into that arm, break it.
Okay. Yeah, like you bash it in the arm over and over and over, like multiple times. It's not really moving. It's not really struggling against you too hard. So after you bash it in the gallium-soaked part of its arm, it starts to bend and dent and like completely bow out of shape. And after a few hits, the arm all but snaps off. The grip goes a little bit limp, and you are now free, and this thing is now dead. As you're standing over it in this moment, like looking down on it, the bolt that hit it in the stomach, it tore through what are human-looking organs and just ripped them apart. A molten hot bolt the size of like the length of a spatula, like was shot through its stomach and like in part of its chest, and it just caved all of it in, and what few vestiges of human recognizable parts were in there came tumbling out, like burned and destroyed.
Good.
Brutal.
Oh, wow. Lockhart takes like a brief, like 5 seconds to look at that, like, holy shit kind of thing. She turns around to look at Kaya. Kaya seems okay. Okay, in quotes.
She's not dying, it's fine. She's getting ready to reload.
She's taking in the situation, sees Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
And I can move still.
Yep.
Next target!
Okay.
And I also imagine if it's okay, she kind of takes her tie and like puts it up against her neck a bit, so it's just not bleeding out or some shit.
Mm-hmm. It's a flesh wound. You can ignore it. It's
okay.
oozy, but you're like mostly good.
There's too much adrenaline.
Okay.
Yeah, there's too much adrenaline. You're just like, oh, there's a thing on my throat, and then you just touch it, and you're like, oh, that's a fresh wound. Whatever, it doesn't hurt right now. But you used your action, so you're running over there, and then it is the baddie's turn. So this other one is dead. It doesn't get a turn. This one is going to go. It is holding Marcus up, and then as you run behind it, it is going to whirlwind whip Marcus into you. Like swing him around and slam him into you. So it is going to do a...
Hey, like button slamming into Booker.
Hey!
Yeah. And
Still think about
black
that.
For Lockhart's defense.
That's why Button learned the yoinkening spell, because Button just continually gets like yeeted and yoinked all over the place. Every
you
6
like
months.
it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it is going to deal... I don't know, how do I want this to do damage? Is it going to deal damage to both of you or one of you? And I think I will split the damage between the both of you. And you'll both... And one of you will take the effect of the advantage. So it's going to knock one of you or throw Marcus. It's going to either knock Lockhart or throw Marcus. I will let you decide, Iris. Do you want to be jettisoned like 10 feet away and thrown onto the ground and knocked prone? Or do you want Marcus to be thrown 10 feet away and thrown onto the ground and knocked prone?
I can be knocked prone. No, thrown away and knocked prone.
Okay. So it slams Marcus into you and lets go. And then you are thrown over here. You take 1 strain and are knocked prone.
Okay.
Marcus is going to take 7 damage. And you are going to take 7 damage, Lockhart. Before soak.
Ooh. Oh, before soak. Okay.
Yeah, before soak.
It was me like, oh no.
Marcus is almost unconscious. But he's not unconscious yet. And it will drop Marcus, and then it will turn towards Cosmic. And it is going to start walking towards Cosmic.
No!
You can back off, Cosmic can still shoot.
God bless, no attacks of opportunity. So it starts walking towards Cosmic. Cosmic starts like backpedaling, doing like the quick gallopy backstep while pointing the gun at it. He's getting nervous again, but he doesn't have to make any fear checks because he focused. He's calm. So he is just going to backpedal a little bit and post up and take another couple shots. That's really good. That's more advantage than successes. Okay. So he is going to... Wait, hold on. Let me see some of these advantage uses.
Does he have enough for a crit?
Let me see. He doesn't have enough for a crit. His crit is 4. He has 3. So I was going to say he can negate the target's defenses next round. So it has no melee defense or range defense. So he just starts harrying it with gunfire to, like, cause it to, like, flinch and hold up its arms. He clips it in the shoulder, and it will take 6 damage. And then after soak, it will take only 1. Okay. And that is Cosmic's turn. Marcus's turn. He is going to stand up, and he is going to take 2 more strain. He's still got plenty more strain to spend. And he is going to charge and tackle this motherfucker. Just full tilt, running as fast as he can, and like pushing his arms up, and he's going to try and body slam it. And it has no defense.
Turn into the battering ram.
That's more like it. Okay.
Hell yeah, let's go.
He generates a lot of threat, which I'm just going to give him a shitload of strain. So, because he is really wearing himself out here. But he is going to successfully bash this creature in the back. And he will knock it down. So he just slams into it and knocks it like this towering 9-foot tall thing. He hits it in like the lower back and like the legs almost. And it takes a stumbled step forward. It can't quite get its leg all the way out in front of it. And it falls like a tree and will slam onto the ground. And now it is prone. And that is Marcus's turn. So top of the round, Kaya.
Or Lockhart.
This thing is
Yeah, or Lockhart if you want.
Or Lockhart. You're right.
If you don't want to go, I'll go.
I mean, how bad does Marcus look?
He looks really rough. The wound that he got from the stab wound earlier at Gigadeath is opened. It's bleeding again.
Oh, yeah, then my turn's just gonna be going up to heal Marcus, if you want to go first.
Okay. I'll go first then.
Mm.
Since this thing is on the ground, I'm gonna use jump up first.
Okay.
Once per round I can not be prone.
Nice.
Jump up, move over to this thing, and since it's on the ground, gonna frickin' axe kick at its neck.
Go for it. It doesn't have any defense, so it's just 2 purple. And you will get a blue because it is prone.
Sweet. Blue, 2 purple. Good. Roll. Ah! No!
No! A lot of advantage, though.
A lot of advantage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a fuck ton of advantage. Jesus.
Disabled.
Yeah, the target is disabled instead of suffering wounds or strain.
Mm-hmm.
I
will say if you disable it, yeah, you can disable it and it won't be able to get up next round. You don't deal any damage, but it's still on the ground.
Sweet. And I will give a blue, or I'll do an allied person gets blue, or the next allied person, and then I will also give another blue to Kaya.
Kaya gets a blue, and who are you giving the other free blue to?
It's just the person that goes next.
So it'd be 2 to
Oh.
Kaya.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Kaya.
Can I get to Marcus from here?
You have to take
maneuver?
2 more strain.
Oh my god. Okay.
Could she sacrifice
God.
one of the blues instead of taking strain?
I would accept that.
Okay, bet.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Z.
I may not be in combat,
I'm
so I am
always-
the negotiator.
I'm always down to haggle.
Okay, God bless, because I am... strain is not good. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and patch up Marcus.
Okay.
Let's see. Medicine. I don't have enough dice. How many purples?
3.
Okay. Heard. 3 purples.
How many times can you do surgery on a person?
I don't know.
Theoretically, as often as you need.
Okay. Interesting. Go on, though.
Okay. I'll be honest, I see heal button. I'm just like, we need healing. Press button, you know?
I thought the only reliable way of healing was the, like, patch things that have, like, limited charges. And then there was out-of-combat healing, which you get at the end of a combat.
You can do healing wounds, which is, what you can do in combat, in an encounter. Technically, for the healing wounds itself, that is once per encounter. Can a character...
Gotcha.
You can receive 1 medicine check per encounter. However, if there is something like a skill that is allowing that to happen more often, then that removes that ability, or that, like, limitation.
Gotcha.
I'll tell you right now, I don't think I have that.
But you can still use it on Marcus, because it's still, you haven't done it this encounter.
Yeah. Add...
The healing wounds action is the, wounds for success, strain for advantage.
Okay. Cool. So, am I good to go?
Yes, you're good to roll.
Okay, cool. Double check. Let's go ahead and hopefully help the boy. That's a lot of threat. This is not good. Okay, hold on, wait. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, that's 4 threat. Cancels out, so it's 2. That's 4. Okay, so that cancels out. Good. That's going to be 3 success, 1 advantage. So that's going to be 6 wounds healed, 1 strain healed.
Okay, he's looking a lot better now. Not great, but better.
Yeah, I imagine that, like, his big wound from Vegeta opened up. If you remember when Lockhart got hit with the fucking rail spike way back when, and there was, like, little foam pill, I feel like Kaya, being an engineer and a medic, has, like, that same compound in, like, a syringe.
Mm-hmm.
And she's kind of run up to Marcus, sees that he's about to fucking, you know, have a bad time if he moves even more. Grabs him, arm around the waist, just to dump the foam onto the wound. Just to seal it up for now.
Okay. Perfect. Marcus is looking relieved, though he is still very bloody and sweaty and exhausted.
Me too, buddy.
Okay. So that is Kaya's turn and Lockhart's turn. So now it's the bad guy's turn. He is disabled, so he cannot get up and not really do anything. And then it's going to be Cosmic's turn. Cosmic, for him to shoot, he does not want anyone to be in the line of fire. So he is going to move up over beside Lockhart and shoot down at it.
You'd still technically get a black on the roll because it's ranged on prone.
Yeah, that's fair. I think he's trying to be extra cautious too, because Lockhart is like... I imagine Lockhart, you're axe kicking. It doesn't do damage, but you're hitting him over and over and like going for the face, and he's holding up his arms to keep you from crushing his head. So you're just stomping
Yeah.
on him, and he's like flailing around, and so Cosmic doesn't want to shoot you either. Okay, still one success. So Cosmic is very patient, and he waits for a good moment where there's a break in the kicks, that he takes a pot shot and will clip it in the shoulder again. He doesn't deal a hell of a lot of damage. Actually, I think all of the damage is negated by the soak. Does his gun have pierce? Yes, so he deals 1 damage. Okay, that is Cosmic's turn. And then it's Marcus's turn. Marcus is going to try to... Plus 1 more wound for Marcus?
Yeah.
Okay.
1 more heal.
That matters. Okay, then Marcus, he is going to also just go to town kicking at it. It's not he's using his most effective weapon against it, but he doesn't want to get in the way of a gun.
Circle kicking.
Yeah, just joins in on the circle kicking of this thing.
Fucking JoJo gif.
Oh my god.
Yeah. You guys are just circle kicking it. At the top of the round, it is Kaya and Lockhart. Or Lockhart and Kaya.
Up to you, dude.
Kaya.
Yeah?
Rail spike? Or not rail spike, the gun? The nail gun?
Nail gun?
Nail gun, rail gun.
I gotta reload it. It'll take a maneuver. And then I have to move closer.
You could do it for 2 strain.
I'm not doing that.
You could, if you want to swap your action for a maneuver, you can swap your action for a maneuver and do both of those, but you'd be right up on it without having an action.
Yeah. Can I pass it to someone else?
Yeah, you can pass it to Marcus or Lockhart if you want.
Do you want it, Lockhart? Would she want the giant gun? Full gun?
It's ranged heavy.
Ranged heavy.
I don't think it would be a good idea. I only have 3 green.
Cosmic is pretty good at ranged heavy.
Can he hold this? Full gun?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's bigger than it.
Yeah, I was like,
It might also shoot him backwards when he shoots, but he'll shoot it, damn it.
Yeah.
Kaya, you can help hold him while he shoots it.
I feel like Kaya's reloading, and as she's reloading, she's walking around, just like, okay, things are pretty bad over here. Kaz, you okay? You cool?
Cosmic, like, focused on the situation. He hears you call out to him, and he, like, tilts his head to acknowledge what you said, and he nods, but he doesn't take his eyes off this thing as Lockhart is kicking it and beating it, and Marcus and Lockhart are kicking it and beating it. He's, like, waiting for his opportunity to shoot unimpeded.
I feel like seeing it like, oh, you've got a ranged weapon here. You don't want to hit them. Well, I've got a solution.
Here, let me give you the bigger gun.
Yeah.
You hand him the bolt gun?
She's tired, dude. It's just bad. She'll, like, grab him on the shoulder. Like, you want to just take this and just staple him to the ground? Probably end it.
Cosmic will look at it, and then he has this moment where he's like, what is that? And then he sees the handle and the trigger, and he just immediately is like, oh, I can shoot it. And he holsters his gun and will hold out 2 hands to take it.
Yeah. Okay, will hand it over and explain, yeah, well, you don't gotta worry about hitting them. Just literally just touch them. Just touch them and pull.
Cosmic looks at it, and he looks up at you and just goes, okay. And then he turns around, and he will just ready it in the best way he can. Lockhart, do you want to go next? Do you want to give your turn to Cosmic to shoot it?
Do you guys think that's a smart idea, or should we still try and stun lock it?
Well, if Cosmic gets high enough to, like, use an advantage to, like, knock it prone again or disable it again or something, then, you know, you're going to be able to continue to circle kick.
If he rolls high enough, yeah.
Alright, yeah, give it to Cosmic.
At the very least, he'll be bolted to the
back.
At the very least, he'll be bolted to the floor, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, since Cosmic technically doesn't have strain, I will give him a wound, and he will step forward, reload, and then barrel check this thing. So as he steps forward, he sees the loading mechanism, the lever on the side, and he yanks it, and you hear this, and then there is like a thunk inside of the gun, as you can see the whole thing shake in his arm, and then he brings it up and presses the barrel right up to its shoulder area, so he's out of the way of the kicks and the violence, and he is going to let loose, and it does not. I'm going to say the advantage from it being prone will cancel out from his defense. So he is going to shoot with just 2 purple. That is 3 successes, which is more than enough. So Cosmic racks the shell, presses the barrel to the shoulder area, and then you hear the as this thing shunts into its shoulder and caves in, like the deltoid and like the clavicle, that whole thing, all of what bone structure was there bends inward, and everything just shunts like a bowling ball hit it. There is a searing hole that is in that area, like a meteorite landed on the chest of this creature. And it is like squirming and writhing now. Blood is molten blood and is just like pouring out of that wound. And Cosmic, it looks a little nauseous, but this thing, its arms start to go limp. Cosmic dealt a fuck ton damage with it. He dealt 18 points of damage, and
Nice.
it mitigates 10 soak. So this thing just took a fucking bunch of damage square to the chest. And
exactly, just staple him.
It is like not really, again, like barely clinging to life. It's not moving much at all as you kick it and continue to circle kick it, and it just gets slower and slower and slower until it stops moving altogether and the arms fall. Do you, Lockhart, do you stop kicking it?
Is it dead?
Double tap.
It looks dead.
I'm double tapping this.
Double tap. What are you doing to double tap?
Stomp on the neck.
You stomp on the neck and twist your foot. You feel the what sounds like a spine somewhere underneath its neck, and as you step and twist, there is a and crack of bone or steel. It's hard to tell, but something cracks, and the head tilts at an unnatural angle, and it is perfectly still.
Step back.
As you step back over the corpse of it, Marcus, Cosmic, and Vengetti all look very exhausted and have this moment where they just kind of exchange glances with both of you. I'm tired.
I believe we all deserve a break.
Cosmic, like, looks around. Are we safe?
Fuck if I know. Probably not. No, in this place, we just gotta get legs and get the fuck out of here.
Lockhart's getting close to the wires to see if she can see anything.
As you step closer and closer, you can see the wires shifting, and you feel like you see something.
She also has thermal.
Yeah, thermal.
Oh,
thermal.
Oh, okay. So as you focus with the thermal, the wires like shifting and moving, the temperature's kind of fluctuating with the cold atmosphere and some areas that are slightly warmer than normal, but it's mostly just hues of blue. And then as some of them shift and flow around, you see slivers of red, like little bits of heat. Something is there. You could poke your head into it, into the tentacles, and see more clearly.
Heads up, we have more coming.
Ah, fucking damn it.
Readies the gun. Marcus
His
puts
gun
his
or the
hands
bolt
up.
gun?
The bolt gun.
She's like, okay, but that's point blank and one more shot. Good luck.
Are you gonna poke your head in, or are you backing up?
No, I'm gonna back up.
Thank you. Oh my god.
Yeah, no.
Apply this logic to Overwatch when you tank, for the love of God.
Any slap patches to apply while you have a moment of silence?
Yeah.
You have time.
Slap patch. I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah. Everyone please use one.
Cosmic will use a slap patch and will go to full health.
The first bit of it, they're called air hypos. Same
yes,
shit.
They are air hypos. Marcus has used one because Gigadeath happened. He has used technically one already, but he will use the second one and get 4 wounds back.
Okay, I'm gonna use one, go down to 1 wound.
We slept.
We did sleep, yeah. Give the boy his due.
Okay. Fine. Fair. I'll give him an extra wound.
Thank you. Every wound counts.
Every you're absolutely right. Every wound does count.
And
because combat has ended technically, you can roll to recover strain. Not wounds, but strain, because there's not enough time to heal yourself. Unless you have an ability that says you just recover wounds. Not you. You're in a weird spot.
What roll again?
Discipline?
Discipline?
Yes. And it's just a straight discipline check.
Okay. Boom, boom.
Discipline or cool?
Never mind. I don't want cool. I'll take discipline. Because I got 4 successes. Does that just mean 4 strain?
Yes.
Because we're not healing? Okay.
The end of encounter is discipline or cool, and it's for every success you get a strain recovered.
Lockhart?
Bet.
That's a roll. I was just double checking something.
Fucking Kyle will slap her with a fucking slap patch, which doesn't have one.
I have one.
Okay. Did you use it?
I will give you 2 strain for that.
Just double checking something, because I do have hard boiled.
Mm-hmm.
When recovering strain after an encounter, you can spend advantages to recover wounds per advantage.
Oh, okay. So you can recover wounds.
He's just built different.
So it would be 1 strain and 4 wounds.
Yep. That is fine by me.
You can see who's the wound build and who's the strain build in this group.
Me, who's neither. Everything hurts all the time. Skill monkey.
So, let me see here.
Larry's gonna go to Vengetti.
Vengetti?
Yeah.
Vengetti is like still he's more or less just hanging out with Larry.
No, that's what I was saying, is that Larry was over here.
Yeah.
I dragged him saying Larry's gonna go to Bengetti now that the coast is clear to run.
Oh, I thought you were saying you went to Bengetti.
No.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, she's about to pop off. I imagine that Larry just got cut off and decided to hide because things were flying. Now that the coast is clear, run.
He zips over to Bengetti, and Bengetti and Larry together are kind of like Scooby and Shaggy.
Who's who?
Yes. And let me see. In front of you, as the waves of tentacles just keep shifting and ebbing and flowing. Who the fuck left?
Amy.
Our internet probably fucked up. There we go.
Get back here.
You're not allowed to leave. Nope. Still haven't heard her though.
Hello?
There we go.
Hi. I don't know what happened.
Okay, but you're here though.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So before you see the tentacles shift and wave back and forth as something approaches. You hear the steps of metal on metal. Something stepping very slowly, very confidently. It almost sounds like a knight in armor approaching, as there's like a shuddering clink and then a shuffle and a clink. And you can see one bright red light amongst the shifting tentacles. Before you see this thing pop through.
Oh no, it's Red 2.0.
Oh, God.
That would be funny if Larry said that.
Yeah.
God fucking damn it.
It's like that's just what he hears every time Red shows up. He's like, oh, that's how you call out that Red's here.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Before you see a mechanical iron suit with a single red glowing light and no paint on it. You've seen this model before. And there was a missing or empty chamber in the laboratory at headquarters. And it seems someone or something was put in the suit. And it came here.
What the fuck?
I thought we burned them all.
You burned all the clones.
Yeah, Joe did say that there was an empty chamber. We assumed it was for, like, normal Red or whatever, but...
Mm-hmm. Not fucking whatever the fuck this is. Is this fucking... what's... two-letter guy? Chadley. It's not him, right?
Dio?
No.
Okay.
I will tell you that straight up. It's not him.
Okay.
If it was Dio, then we don't have to worry that much. I don't think Joe would suddenly make that one super smart.
I was just like, who was there when we found that? How's your credit score doing, Dio?
Dio's going to be in jail at this point in time.
Uh-huh. And I think we gave Sprite his credit card?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sprite and Voluska, because Voluska bought all the medical supplies on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
It is not Dio. It is in fact another red suit.
God damn it.
Repurposed here with something inside it, piloting it. Who it is and who can say really, but it emerges from the tentacles, primed and ready for combat. And now we're going to shift Back to cyberspace. The hackers. So I need... Let me see.
Perfect, because I need to be right back.
Okay.
Same.
Okay, fine. Bathroom break. Bathroom break, then hackers.
Abandoned by everybody.
Listen, okay, I have to pee. I'll be right back. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, that's cute.
Well, I'm glad I saved my one last fastball special.
Okay, give me a second. I have to make Claire a sandwich.
Good job. Izzy, I hope you appreciate my notes.
Yeah.
For the first half of the session.
Y'all had it. Y'all were fine.
Thank God for the recovery, because Jesus Christ. Went to like 9 out of 11 strain there for a bit.
Yeah, I got one more gambit to recover strain, and then I imagine Legacy is going to die in this next bit because she doesn't have much more strain to use.
Like, die?
They'll go unconscious, which I assume would die in this situation.
Oh no.
Since everything in here is doing strain and I'm not recovering any.
I'm returned.
I feel like we gotta argue with Joe.
Oh?
That resolving the Jonathan thing ended an encounter.
Oh.
Because I can do one thing to recover 3. But right now I'm sitting at 11 out of 14. And most all my stuff take at minimum 2.
Oh no.
However, 0 wounds.
That's true.
I'll leave a pretty corpse.
No.
Okay, I'm back.
With your own food, I hear.
I made... Claire only wanted half a sandwich, so I made a whole sandwich and just cut it in half so I could give myself something. So, cyberspace, where we last left our 2 cyber individuals, who are now working together. Jonathan asked Legacy if she trusted him in this moment, and she did. And then you both started to sink through the floor. And because you technically ended a fight, you can roll to recover strain.
Thank you. Neither of these are particularly good, but hey, maybe something.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 success, 2 advantage. Let me do have something that gets me a little bit more. This. If their strain is more than half their strain threshold, they can get 2 additional strain back. Math. 7.
So 4 strain?
Yeah, 4 total off this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, something.
Half strain.
Nice. There you go.
Do you hear me talking to Amy?
I did. But
Yeah, okay.
I had already planned on letting you get your end counter benefit here. Because I was waiting to do it because your encounter was like of its own accord. I was like, you don't roll strain with everyone else. You are in a weird magical zone. You're in podcast mode. Now you roll strain. But you both sink through the floor. And as you sink through the floor, you have this moment where you are in a sort of transitionary space when you are falling and the like thin grid lines that echo out around you in every direction are echoing vertically on either side of you, as if you are falling down like a hole or like an elevator shaft almost. And you're not rapidly descending, you're more like gently drifting downward. Like holding I imagine Jonathan holding onto your hand so that you fall together. And as you're falling, Jonathan will explain to you and say, we're going to its brain. Where we were before, that was a repository of information, like a reservoir. Everything it collects ends up there. But does have a brain. It is present here. And I think if we want to make some sort of impact on the outside, the best way to do that is to go to the brain. Maybe we can figure something out. Maybe.
Legacy's just kind of like looking around, and there's a slow nod. It makes about as much sense as anything else in here is gonna. Any bright ideas on how to pull a plug on a dreamer that we don't understand?
He hesitates for a second before shaking his head very slowly. No idea. My old plan was predicated on the fact that I wasn't going to control it. I was going to live in it and let it do what it wanted with the outside. Now that we're here, I'm less certain how to stop it. But if we could stop it, if there were any way to stop it, it would be here.
Student of history?
Some, what I was built with.
You know the term scorched earth?
He narrows his eyes. Yes.
And she looks over to him. That's what I specialize in.
He thinks about it, and then I imagine your gaze are both like fixated on the fall below, and he kind of just like resumes looking down at the fall. You can see him kind of considering what that means. Would that mean everything here would be gone? Burned up?
Maybe not everything, but I have last resort code that I used when I was a little bit too close to having somebody on my ass. Essentially jumbled all the code. Might be something useful left, but not much.
Well, he swallows, or as much as you can in like a digital representation. But you see him gulp. Hopefully whatever it does here won't do anything to us.
Would Legacy have access to any of her, like, USBs?
I will say you could probably have access to a USB. Which I imagine would be your finger. Because it was part of your arm.
And she looks over to Jonathan, is considering him for a moment. Well, I promised you on maybe getting a way out. Think you can get a copy of yourself written up real fast?
He thinks about it. That's a dangerous thing here, but I can do it.
Have a storage. Only one left, but might save what's left of your consciousness to be put in something else.
He nods. We can try it. He concentrates for a second, and then you see his form kind of shift and stutter a little bit. He makes some kind of digital duplicate, though it's not apparent where it is or where it's gone or anything like that.
She will just hold out her other hand so she can, like, direct the data where it needs to go.
He will take his spare hand and touch it to yours.
She's gonna try and download them.
Make me a hacking check at 4 purple.
Second, I forgot I need both of these. I do have need of multiple dice sets.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God I have hacking abilities, because it left me with 2 success.
There you go. So it is very, very difficult. You are reaching to a space that you are not connected to in a way that you're familiar with. It's like reaching to a theoretical space that you know has to be there, but your mind is so present in the current space that it is just difficult to conceptualize the path from one to the other. And transferring data in this space is both easy and unnatural. So it's it takes a weird amount of nuance to like bend your mind in a way that is able to move data. And I mean, suffice to say, it's just very difficult. Everything about this is unnatural and difficult, but you manage it. You are able to trace a line back to yourself, if only for a moment, to steal away what you hope is enough room to store a digital copy of Jonathan. I will tell you, though, if you store a digital copy of Jonathan, you won't be able to store anything else there.
Figured she'd wipe everything because all the other stuff she has stored on it right now, everybody has copies of.
Okay. As you kind of come back to yourself in this moment where you're falling again, Jonathan, like, his eyes kind of scan your face. Is it done?
Near as I can tell. Not easy connecting to the physical body from here, but, I guess all of the deep meditation, physical therapy helped.
He doesn't know if that's a joke or not, so he just kind of awkwardly nods. Right. Well, he looks down again. The distance you're traveling is abstract, but despite that, he says, "We're nearly there. I can feel it. Are you ready?"
She nods a little bit. Well, don't get to see the inside workings of an alien very much.
He nods. Okay. And as you're falling, it starts with your feet, as your feet are pointed downward first, but they start to dematerialize, like you're derezzing in Tron. Your feet break away into subsequent little bits of data, and little squares of yourself zip off into the dark below you. And as they do, piece by piece, the cubing of yourself goes up your feet and up your legs and all the way up to your waist, and it catches onto your arms and your hands until only your torso and neck and head are left. And slowly but surely it climbs all the way up, and all of you is cubed and streamed downward into the abyss below you. And there is a moment where your consciousness, your physical form, you feel like a tingly sensation, and then it starts to feel like nothing. And as it crawls up and up and up to your head, you feel your vision fade to black, and then there is emptiness. There is just a cold nothing. And then you're here in a jagged, lopsided, unnatural place. Hold on. There we go. And let me drag the peanut gallery here, just in case.
Thank you. I love spectating.
So, as you are dropped into a space that is almost like, not quite, but sort of like an arena. It is a jagged, asymmetrical, like, fortress, circular blockade of digital just chunks. And as you are in this space, you feel the overwhelming sensation of being watched. It is so very clear to you that you are not here alone. You cannot see anything, but you are here with something other than Jonathan.
She'll kind of look around for a second, and she'll look down, and she's going to test in the same way that she did when she first went into the full dive. See if she can just, like, step on air and move up or sideways or anything.
You reach for that sort of maneuverability, and there is nothing. It does not come.
She frowns. Well, that was fun while it lasted.
Jonathan standing up straight, like the ground you are seated on, or not seated on, the ground you are standing on, invisible, but level with all of these structures. Jonathan looks around and then looks to you and looks down. I don't know what rules we have to play by here, but it's not the same as what we were doing before, where we were before. That space was pliable and raw. Here, I don't know.
And she looks over to him and just kind of like lets go of his hands and throws her arms open a little bit. Oh, you gotta start thinking it. That's supposed to be a Diego specialty.
He kind of furrows his brow and looks around at the space, not sure where to address his attention. He takes a knee and will fan his fingers out as if he's feeling the floor, just basically touching a hand to the void blackness beneath his feet. And he, like, pushes against it. It doesn't give. It just resists as a floor would. But as he has his hand down there, you see a flit of something appear and disappear. And he flinches. Like, what? Did you see that?
Yeah. It's got its fingers all over the place. And she'll kind of start walking, keeping an eye on where her footsteps are landing. Over to this pillar. Is she also seeing movement under her feet?
As you're walking, there is a flicker of something white. Just a brief, like, almost like the shape of a flower petal. A flicker of a white thing that opens and closes.
She'll look at the pillar and just kind of in a similar manner to Jonathan, like, put her hand on it for a moment, kind of push and knock a knuckle against it. It seems solid as well.
You knock your knuckle against it and there's no noise. Almost in a disturbing way, it's just like noise doesn't exist here in the objects. It is solid. What it's made of is unclear, but it's hard to tell if it's a hollow structure or if it's made of something.
She'll take a step or two back and essentially kind of run and wall jump off of it, both to test its stability, but also to land both her feet full body weight as hard as she can down on the ground.
You take a step back, run up and kick off of the wall, get yourself very high up for a short sprint and a jump. But as you kick off of it, it seems firmly placed on the ground. Still can't tell if it's hollow or, like, thickly solid, but it's sturdy enough that you can kick off of it. And as you get your airtime and fall to the ground and stomp your feet onto the ground, there isn't the contact, the satisfying thump of both feet on the floor. You feel it. You feel it in your legs. There is a physical reaction in your body to it, but you don't hear anything and you don't feel anything. But you see something. You've watched FMA, right, Z?
Yep.
You know when the door to truth opens and there's the big eyeball?
Mm-hmm.
As your feet land on the ground, there is a swirl and then an open eye that eclipses at a horizontal angle or at a vertical angle. And it fills this entire empty space, this big eye. And whatever this creature's brain looks like is now it is manifested in this way, but now its attention is fully on you. And the familiar tingling, buzzing sensation you got in your head when you saw the code however many weeks ago, long weeks ago, that sensation comes back in full force, and I will need you to make me a discipline or a cool check at 4 per.
That's a couple of blank sides. That's good for me. It's only 2 failures. It's better than it could be.
Okay. So that'll be 2 strain. And as this eye just stares up from beneath you, it's like retinas scanning around in the area and looking at you and Jonathan and the area around you, just trying to perceive you. And you feel that thrum in your head get really, really intense. Images flash in your mind. Images that kind of start to destabilize you. Things of a less concrete reality. Images of your parents and their faces kind of melting into just fleshy goo. Images of the hospital and your legs contorting and bending at unnatural angles and just warping off of your body. Images of you standing over Joseph Diego with a dagger in his brain, and he just simply tilts his head back and looks up at you, and he begins to shift and manifest into another giant eyeball. It is imagery like this that just starts to bash you against, or like to just wail against your consciousness, flashing and just too much. It's overstimulating. But after a few seconds, they stop, and you're left here again with the eye scanning your feet, scanning up at you. And in the corners where the eye begins to narrow, other eyes start to appear, smaller. The little, like, flower petal-sized ones, opening and closing and scanning around, just looking at everything. Here, information flows and is consumed and processed. It's not just stored. Here is where the interpretation happens. The interpretation of information. Roll me a... Let me see here. Roll me a science check. Or the net. Science or the net.
That is better for me.
At 4 purple.
Hold up, let me look really fast at this because I think I got something for it. So, this would be up to you. But I've never been able to use this. I have the ability net search. I'll read it to you. If your character has access to the network, they may use this talent to upgrade the ability of their next knowledge check that they make during their turn twice, and the difficulty of the check once. So it'd be giving me 2 extra yellows and a red.
Okay.
Your GM must spend a hero point to have your character learn some seemingly relevant and believable information that turns out to be completely false on top of what you would learn.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm down with this.
So I have the chance of learning more stuff by winning with a better roll. But you also get to give me a lie.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Okay,
so a red and 3 purple.
So red. Do I have enough yellows? I don't have enough yellows for this check. I'm gonna have to re-roll one.
You don't have enough yellows?
Yeah, I'm rolling with 5 yellows, my dude.
Oh.
Well, that's 1 triumph off the bat. I can re-roll that one. That's 2 triumphs. 2 triumphs. Cancels that out. 2 success and 3 advantage.
Damn. Nothing from the purples and red?
Nope.
Okay. So what you're able to put together.
I'll say, if you want that false information, you got to give me that hero point you have.
Oh yeah, I have to give you that because that's part of the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, you can choose not to give me the false information and keep the hero point.
I will say for the sake of having it and using it later, I won't give it to you because you succeeded well enough that I don't think it would make sense for you to get false information too. But with what you got, the triumphs and successes and whatnot, you're able to glean like you're in its brain. You have been digitized. All of you has been digitized. You are data. Being in the repository, especially with Jonathan and someone else there who is also like fully themselves, you've retained your memory and your motor function. You are here. Being in the repository area with Jonathan, you had this moment where you're kind of able to root around in each other's brain, where you're able to dip into the other person's memory and pull out whatever data you think is relevant. However fast you can scan data is however fast you can access it. And going here into the brain of this creature, it is no longer a neutral space. The space you are in is its space. The entire ability to process and internalize information is now funneled through this thing. It makes the rules. And it has access to your entire mind, as well as Jonathan's, all of your memories. It has effectively consumed you in this moment. It has not destroyed you, but it has observed everything that you are. So there is nothing you can hide from it.
So we're chips of independent program that are now amongst the whole.
Yes, and you are not in a neutral system. You are in a computer that is aware you are in it. The main advantage you have here, the main advantage you have in this space is observer. Its brain consumes a lot of knowledge, but it does not, because of how much it has consumed, it has eclipsed the natural ability of humanity in every way. It is far beyond the ability of a mortal mind to understand. You can try to reason with it, but it might be beyond language at this point. it is operating on a level of like understanding of the world that it doesn't just talk. It literally, like, more or less lost the ability to communicate sensibly as a human. It is operating on a level where it can transmute feelings from it to you and make you feel what it wants you to feel and understand what it wants you to understand intuitively. It can just imbue you with understanding. The main advantage you have, though, is that it doesn't process things in a human way. So it doesn't have like the human biases you have to work through. It doesn't have a coherent ideology you have to wear down. In a way, it has garnered so much knowledge that it has kind of crippled itself in its ability to understand everything. It knows it, and it can know everything, but it can't perfectly understand everything anymore because it's outstripped that ability.
And theoretically can't anticipate that.
Yes, exactly. Like, it knows that you have tools to destroy it, tools that would be like programs and hacking tools, but it doesn't necessarily understand that you would use them in a way like if you're threatened or something, you would break it out to try and save yourself. You can't hide anything from it except your intentions.
So I think as the images like start to flash in Legacy's head, she kind of like stumbles just a bit, like hand to her temple, like that's gonna somehow help. And as it's starting to lessen a bit, but it's still there, she just like looks straight down at the eyeball and snaps her fingers down at the ground. She's like, "Oi, that's not nice. You and I know each other. Fuck off."
Jonathan like watches you and looks down at the eye and is just aghast that you would be so candor with this creature. As you snap your fingers at it and tell it to fuck off, there is like a reverberation and echo of your words. Like, it hears the words, processes them, chews on them, sends it through a million different filters, a million different language like processing tools. It peels apart all of the knowledge about it, like the phonetic sounds and the construction of the English language, how the letters came to be, what language the original English alphabet was constructed in, how the letters evolved over time, how the word fuck off, how those words came to be part of the English lexicon. Like, it processes all of this, and you can kind of feel it. You can feel it like you're watching a rapid fire assembly line machine run through the process of creating from nothing an end product. And it recreates everything that you had just made. And then it processes it. And there is a backlash to this. What is something that would hurt Legacy?
In what way?
Anyway, emotionally or physically. What is something that would hurt her in this moment?
Well, I mean, she can be physically hurt, I guess. Theoretically, maybe.
You can pick whether it is emotional, mental hurt or physical hurt.
She'll take a physical hurt at the moment.
Okay. How would you like to get hurt? Do you have a preference? Is there something Legacy particularly doesn't like to get hurt by? Or maybe there is something that she has physically been hurt by a lot and it's somewhat familiar to her, like falling.
Yeah. Falling is something that annoys her a lot. Like, she has to just fucking, like, eat shit.
There is a moment where the snap fingers and fuck you or fuck off, like the almost annoyance, that sensation echoes around you too. And there is a series of flashing rapid fire images, memories of yours of every time you've spilled on and eaten shit on a jump or a leap or any sort of scaling that you've done over the side of a building. All of these times where you were running, parkouring and free running, just all this physical exercise. And every time you spilled and scraped a knee or bashed your head or landed on your chest or ate shit, every possible time, it is like a supercut with no break in between each instance of pain, where you are falling, hurting, falling, hurting, falling, hurting, falling, hurting, rapid fire. And you will take 7 damage before soak.
Okay. And Legacy is kind of like, is gasping through that. And Chili's gonna sit down. Okay.
There's a moment.
Anger's not
Jonathan.
Good.
Jonathan looks down and looks up, and he starts to get anxious, and you see him his brow furrowing. You have to stop. You have to stop.
Anger's not good.
And as he yells, you see him his face kind of goes blank for a second, and you can tell that he is being assaulted in the same way, visually, memory-wise. There is a lashing that takes place in his mind, and it is personal as he his leg buckles and he falls to one knee, and you can see him his face starts to short circuit, one eye starts to twitch, and he starts to have this moment where his neck and head twitch, and he puts a hand to his head, and you can see him really struggling to keep himself together. He collapses onto his hands and knees at this point. And then after a brief second, you hear him what? And he just looks over to you.
Yeah, think I learned something new. Whenever we send it, it sends back at us. She'll just pat the ground beside her.
As you pat the ground, an eyeball appears underneath where your palm touched, and it locks onto you. The iris just twitching and pulsating and flexing as it stares at your hand, just watching your movements.
She moves like she's gonna poke it.
It follows your finger, just vibrating a little bit, like it's overeager to watch you, just taking in every minute detail and movement. There's almost a weird tingly sensation in your hand, like the feeling of being watched, folded multiplied 10,000 times, so much that you can almost feel it, like it's a heat ray hitting your fingertip. Just this thing looking at it.
I'm never gonna want to see another eyeball after this.
Was that C or Legacy?
Legacy.
Okay, thank you.
She looks back over at Jonathan. Oh, annoyance, anger, bad things, I think, is gonna have a backlash on us that neither one of us want.
Well, thinks about it. What did you do with me? Empathy?
guess that's the word for it. Appealed to your logic, which I don't know that this thing has anymore.
Can it hear us? Is it listening to us right now?
Looks down at it. Pretty sure it is, but I don't know that it's understanding what we say like a person would. It's understanding every nuance except emotion.
Your words, as you say them, they don't echo in the space. Like, there's no cavern here that makes your voice catch and reverberate off the walls. But you hear it. Like, all of a sudden, you hear it like there is an echo. But it's not all your words. You hear understanding, 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 understanding. And it's looping that back. And as you're kind of just looking around the room and the space around you, you see a translucent, like 50% opacity version of yourself sitting beside you. In the same position you are now, mirrored, reflected in that space. Copying your movements, scanned and reflected, predicted, as if it's trying to reconstruct you in the moment.
And she just kind of like stares over at it for a moment and just props her chin in her hand, elbow on her knee, and is just considering it. Not really moving beyond that. Little frown on her face.
It copies your movements exactly. Like, you know the scene in Annihilation?
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly mirroring your movements. Only it is just a ghostly image of you rather than a fully physical form of you. Jonathan doesn't seem to see it, though. He's still kind of looking on the ground, scanning the eyes, maybe trying his own thing in his mind, but it's hard to tell.
She'll look back down after a moment at the eyeballs and just kind of knock a knuckle on the ground. Oi, big guy, you remember me?
There is, as you knock on the ground, there is a reverberating like echo of the tink, like almost like you would hear a clink of knuckles rapping on a fish tank that just booms through the space in the same beat pattern as what you just did on the ground. The sound explodes out from the space, and you'll take 2 strain, and then you will see that ghostly image dissolve and reappear in front of you. And what you see is an incomplete image of yourself. It's cut off in a square, like you're looking at a television screen. But it's you in different clothes, different styled hair that day. In the background, you see something that is familiar. A medical clinic? It's Veloska's clinic. From way long ago, when you had the fragment of it on that laptop. And it is showing you the you it saw, as if this computer screen was its own eye.
So that's the 3rd time. You do remember something.
it flashes again, and the scene changes, and the square box form dissolves. And as you are sitting next to this block, you hear the scuffling and shuffling of something, as out from behind comes a writhing, dark, tentacled mass. Again, 50% opacity, not really there, but it is in the familiar dark shape of something that would clog a sewer pipe, with a human eye protruding from it.
She kind of leans forward, looking back over her shoulder at it. And there's the first time. Okay.
Beside you materializes a Red Bull can.
That would make her laugh.
It replays your laugh, and it echoes the laughter around you.
Though we are not in combat, can I use one of my incidental abilities?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
We are in a weird pseudo combat, pseudo not combat state. So get fucking weird with it. Go for it. What ability are you shooting for?
It's my second one to heal my strain.
What does it do?
Heal strain equal to my ranks in it, and I got 3 before session.
Okay, go for it.
That's the last bit of strain yo-yo I can do. She just slowly stands up and kind of stretches and looks around. And does the blocky kind of arena shape just go on and on upward?
Yeah, it stacks onto itself as if before you were falling down into an abyss and there was a grid line on all sides of you. Now it seems as though you're at the bottom of the abyss, and all the walls are, instead of grid lines, blocky textures that just stack infinitely upwards.
And she'll look over to Jonathan. Is he still transfixed with the ground?
He's not transfixed anymore. He has a hand over his face, and he's like, in the same way that you grab your face and like rub your eyes really hard, he's doing that.
She will just kind of pace a little bit back and forth, like sizing everything up, being careful not to like move super fast or aggressively at the moment. So, Johnny boy, we're gonna have to make sure that you have a realization about yourself real quick. You know you're a bit in the in-betweens on a couple of definitions, right? She's not looking at him, she's just looking around.
He's kind of staring at the ground, and he'll sit back on his legs, and then he looks over to you. In between on the definitions?
Not quite human, not quite machine, not quite natural, not quite AI. A bit of a hot mixed together.
Squints his eyes. Not really sure what you're getting at, but he's following. As you are walking around and kind of like looking up and just kind of lazily looking around in at the walls and floor, you see different other projections, like astral projections of yourself. Some of them playing like in slow motion, some of them playing on high speed, where it's you walking forward a few steps and then chatting and like removing your arms, gesticulating and talking, but there's no words. And then there's another one that streams off of you and walks off to the side in slow motion and crouches like you're looking at a flower growing out of the ground. And then another one of you that's walking backwards, retracing your steps back to where you were, crouching back onto the ground and doing everything you just did, but in reverse. And all of these different ghosts of yourself are just moving around, like filling parts of the space with versions of you that it thinks could exist, predicting futures that could happen, different angles that you could take with this.
Jonathan respond at all?
Yeah, he squints his eyes and just goes, I guess. Why?
Well, when I came in after you, I had the benefit of being prepared, but you were holding your own, making shit on the fly. I think we need a bit of both.
Okay. What do you need?
See if you can... I don't know. This is at its core code. It knows we're here. But that doesn't mean it's not malleable in some way. If we're fast and she kind of looks over towards him, scalpel precise. So it doesn't think we're pissing it off yet.
He stands up, steadies himself, and he looks around, and you can see like his movements, the way he's looking. It's like he's looking at something, a bunch of different somethings.
Think you can be scalpel precise?
Yes, I can.
What was he about to ask?
He was going to ask if you're seeing things too.
She'll kind of nod a bit. I think it's trying to figure us out, but that's where the human bit comes in helpful. Who the fuck can predict a human? She'll look over to Jonathan and tilt her head. Think you might be able to figure out a way to get access into the code a bit easier?
Thinks about it. I can try.
She nods. And she will kind of take a breath. And I know shit has been weird for you since you popped up, but you got any memories that are particularly strong? Not just...
Are you asking?
To Jonathan, yeah. Not just
okay.
Clear, but that kind of capture you?
Clear? Yes. There's a few memories I have that are very clear.
Might be the only way to at least put something up against what it throws back at us.
He holds his hands out, like he's trying to push energy into the space. The space does not change. It does not bend or bow or flicker. There is no movement. But you can see him putting effort behind it. furrowing his brow harder, closing his eyes, gritting his teeth. If he could sweat, he would be. It doesn't want to move.
Legacy will look over to him, see that he's struggling, nod. She'll walk back over and just kind of like bump up against his side, like shoulder to shoulder as much as she can be, being shorter than him.
It immediately snaps him out of it.
And she'll close her eyes and she will, again, one of those really strong sensations that she was calling up when she was talking to Jonathan. She will try to call up a moment of freedom and running and the little bit of pain that you can get when you're running and you're breathing really hard, but also the euphoria of it.
Mm-hmm.
And she will try to, I guess, use one of her wall programs and try to see if she can knit it together.
So you want to knit the positive sensation with running into a defensive mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You put up this wall and you feel it form in a sort of nebulous way. It does not physically form itself, but you feel it solidify in your mind, tethered to a positive memory, a positive sensation, really. A positive sensation that's connected to dozens of memories you have. And as you are focusing on this, the reverberations of this memory echo around you, and you see them replayed over and over. And there are times where you remember the sensation where you fell, and that fall kind of makes you flinch a little bit, as it was one of the falls that was replayed earlier. But it doesn't hurt this time. You put up this wall, and there is a sort of dampening to whatever sensation is happening. Almost like you're disconnected from it a little bit.
And she will reach over and grab Jonathan's wrist and share the base code for the wall with him, if she can.
Okay. Roll me a hacking check.
At what?
4 purple. You are moving into this incredibly weird theoretical hacking space where you are basically doing magic.
If you want me to not try this, tell me.
No, I'm down with it. If it could happen anywhere, it would happen here.
That's all I need. Just sitting here picking up dice as they're canceling each other out. I have 1 dice left. I have 1 success.
Let's go.
1 singular success.
You are digging through, all of your knowledge as a hacker has culminated in this sort of space where you have to have an intuitive understanding of how your programs work, and you have to have a knowledge of how data functions on a core level, how computers interact. The core wild science of making a rock feel electricity and then teaching it to do math. We're on really fundamental, weird levels of functionality here. and you are able to tap into this distant sensation and pull it apart and find what you need and transfer this barrier onto Jonathan's mind. And you can see him kind of like ease up a little bit. How did you do that?
And she shakes her head slightly, and there's a little bit of a smirk. Would say it's just that I'm a really good hacker, but I think that might be a cop-out right now.
He kind of looks ahead, not staring at anything. Oh, hold on.
Night, Claire.
Good night, Claire. Also,
She's not going to bed yet. She was showing me Winnie.
No.
Okay then.
Hi, Winnie.
Hi, Claire. Hi, Winnie.
Winnie, you said hi.
And to Claire too.
Excuse me. They said hi to you too, Claire.
Just get unimpressed blink from Winnie, I assume.
Yeah.
That's what we expect.
But what were you saying?
All Legacy said in response to him is that she's a really good hacker, but that's a cop-out. He was starting to look at something.
He starts staring straight ahead, and you can see him starting to concentrate, and he closes his eyes. And he kind of smirks to himself, almost like the self-assured kind of smirk. Did I ever tell you what this entire thing was created for originally? What Joseph wanted it for?
She shakes her head a little bit. No, we kind of skimmed past that part real fast.
He opens his eyes, and you can see this sort of weird mix of emotions. Like a bit of shame, a bit of pride, a bit of detachment. There's a shadow that moves behind him, though. A familiar shadow. And there is a deep well of hatred and anxiety that burbles up from this shadow. As it materializes, your mind kind of working against you here. As you see Joseph Diego's distant shadow materialize beside you, as if it had walked around from behind a corner, staring daggers at you. Though he doesn't move.
Like, she just keeps her eyes on that shadow for a long moment. Her hand tightens just slightly around Jonathan's wrist. I'm hoping the original intent was a good one, my friend.
He inhales and exhales and closes his eyes. It was initially going to be a project to better humanity, not in the way that I wanted. In a different way. It was going to be used to project and predict the result and the solutions to humanitarian crises. Help us better predict weather patterns when they become untenable. Help us find solutions to wars that start. Help us with the energy crisis. Help us with the climate. It was supposed to be a repository of knowledge, meant to synthesize answers, piece together everything we could possibly know, and put it together to help. And he shakes his head and kind of puts his a hand over his face, and it's the kind of mortified, embarrassed look. And after Johann died, my predecessor, and the shadow of Joseph, the eyes kind of glow at the sensation of being referred to. My predecessor didn't want anything else except to bring him back. Obsession with bringing him back. At that point in time, they already had a semi-working version of Observer. Of you, he kind of gestures to the ground. That's when you were born. Way back then. But after that, Joseph knew that you had data on Johann. And as he says Johann, there is a fuzzy sensation from behind you. As materializing behind you, Ben Getty comes out. Not Johann, not Tall Getty, but the Johann that you knew first. And he just materializes wearing his typical, relaxed pants, white t-shirt, lab coat. He just has sandals on. Doesn't look bothered. Jonathan turns to you and says, It became a new project then. Project to revive Johann. First and foremost, feed it data. Give it more data than it could ever hope for. Until it had the ability to rebuild a man from memory. He shrugs. Obsession drove this thing into what it is now. That and misplaced affection. I hesitate to call it love. At the sensation of the word love, there is a warm sensation in the back of your mind, again, Legacy. As out from the nothingness, you see Marcus walk up, scratching the back of his head, wearing his gym clothes and a Superman t-shirt. It looks like he just got finished with a workout at the gym.
She's looking over her shoulders each time somebody pops up. And there is that flicker of a smile at the sight of Marcus. And just stares at him for a moment before she shakes her head. Don't know that you can rightly call affection misplaced. It's one of those great stupidities of humans. Affection just is. Can't really direct it any particular way. And affection without the obsession, there's nothing wrong with it. And she'll look over to Joseph, kind of eyeing the shadow up and down, and her face immediately sours at seeing him. And she'll shake her head. And look down at the eye underneath. It almost makes me pity this thing, though. What it was made for then is not something it was ever going to be able to accomplish. Can't bring somebody back, no matter how much you try.
That's what my predecessor discovered, but didn't want to admit. Every time he tried to bring back Johann, it wasn't perfect. There was always something wrong, he says with quotation marks. A defect in every copy. It wasn't quite the original. But he kept trying. This entire creature, its entire existence built and then reshaped to be what it is now. Bottomless pit, consumption, with no other directive.
She furrows her brow a bit. And she looks up to Jonathan, kind of like studying his face. No other directive. What if we gave it a directive? That's the most basic line of code.
As you say that, the copies disappear, or not the copies, the specters of them disappear, and instead more shifting versions of you and Jonathan start to appear. Duplicates everywhere where there is a conversation happening, gesticulation and words being exchanged silently, again, some of them playing in double speed and some of them playing at half speed. You could try. I'm not sure how to get to the code of this creature.
And she looks down. And staring at the eye for a minute. Think you can try to keep that wall up for us?
He nods.
And she'll just kind of crouch down, letting go of Jonathan. Just staring down at the eye. And because I imagine it's just a vast pit underneath her at the moment, she'll just kind of like touch a couple of fingers down to the ground, trying to spawn a couple of smaller eyes.
Like, almost like fish coming to the top of a fish tank. 3 or 4 of them pop up.
That's more palatable. And she kind of smirks down at them. Hey, big guy. You've been, kind of everywhere all at once for a while, not doing much other than grabbing. Do you want a direction?
There's an echo to your words, hey big guy, direction, and then in your mind you are taken on a whirlwind journey. You are thrust throughout different high points of your life over the past 3 months. You are simultaneously running from Red, jumping off of a highway, and hacking in a basement, trying to get into Tetsuo headquarters, and going to see a motorcycle race that your friend is in with your new boyfriend, and sneaking into a club and having not yet met the person who would become your new boyfriend. And like all of this stuff is happening. You are experiencing almost like the everywhere and everything sensation of just taking it all in. You will take 1 strain, but you feel a sort of calming openness. The pressure alleviates itself. You're still being watched, but there is a moment where you have the floor, so to speak.
Oh boy. Hey, podcast mode, bitches. I need the brain cells.
Hello. I'm doing my best to type. I'm not getting everything, but I'm getting a chunk.
If we could give this thing a directive, what would it be?
I don't think stop will work.
Probably not.
Yeah. This thing is fucking huge. It pretty much knows everything, right?
Mm-hmm. It's Wikipedia on steroids.
It's Wikipedia on steroids.
It is cumulated knowledge with no ability to live that knowledge out. No understanding of how to live that knowledge or produce that knowledge into anything.
What if we make Chat GPT?
I mean, I have
people ask it questions.
But
what was your idea, Iris?
I don't know how it would. I'm trying to think of like the monkey's paw, how this could be a bad idea. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we don't want it to create, because that could be bad. I was thinking protect humanity, because that was somewhat what the initial project is for. But again, I feel like there's.
I would say the longer and more drawn out your request is, the more you're trying to hammer it down. If this is a wish spell, the more specific your wish spell, I think the more likely it will go wrong. If you keep it very simple,
it's the fucking
it will turn out better.
No Way Home Spider-Man conundrum.
I don't know that.
Spider-Man wishes that everybody forgot that he was Spider-Man, except his girlfriend and his friend and his aunt, and it fucks everything up.
And the solution to it is for everyone to forget everyone forgets.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Okay, so keeping it simple.
So let me ask another question to it really fast, because it's paying attention and it's not hurting her actively, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
She'll just still staring down at the eyeballs. Do you want to help?
When you say help, there is a flicker in your mind of different times that come up when help is brought up. There's a memory of Marcus being helped up when he fell during a workout. There's a memory of someone helping you up after a fall. There's a memory of you and Kaya working together on something when you were helping her build something. There was another memory of you helping Kaya with cooking. There's another memory in a different way from a different source. You're not you anymore. You're seeing a memory of someone else. You're taller and looking down. You're in a laboratory that is pristine and white. And you are looking at a scientist. And that scientist is helping you by handing you a thin vial that has brain matter in it. You know it's brain matter. You understand intuitively that it's brain matter. And your hand is masculine with a sort of olive-toned tan color to it. And you're wearing a suit. And then there's help in another way, where you are sitting across from Lindis in a very smoky room, and you slide a very potent chemical drug across the table to her. Help comes in a lot of different ways.
But it doesn't seem opposed either.
It does not seem opposed. It's just telling you that it knows a lot of ways that it could help.
I'm even more anxious now.
There is no way to do this risk-free.
Yeah.
It is just the risk you are willing to take.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, there is an answer that I'm thinking of that is not the correct answer, because there could be other ones that you guys come up with that are just as good. But there is a single word answer that if you said it, it would be the best possible timeline. Automatically.
Wait, I know how this can be solved.
Uh-huh.
Iris, you have a card.
Oh, I do have a card.
You have a card, Iris.
What is the card?
The Divine Intervention card.
What does that one do?
That's the get knowledge from the DM, right?
Is that really what it is?
Yep. In times of dire need, receive divine insight or guidance from the Dungeon Master.
Present this card to unlock crucial knowledge that may aid you in your quest.
Well, you want to use it?
I kind of wanted to save it, but...
It is your card. It is up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me get my stay out.
Don't worry, I imagine either Amy or I will be sacrificing our card to you here shortly. Because Amy has
Probably.
the Life Reforged one and I have the Magical Recharge one.
Mm-hmm.
If Joe gets Divine Intervention, you get a card out of those two.
Yeah.
Of course, if you will allow it, Joe.
What?
Because you have the
card?
right to decline a card use. Yep.
You are completely within your rights to use that card. I think that is totally fair. I did not think about it. I was like, yeah, I have the answer that if you guys said it, I would be like, that's it. You win. You win this encounter. but I totally forgot that Iris had a card that's like, tell me what it is. Go on. What is it?
You have the answer?
Give me an answer.
I'll just swipe that, please.
Cough it over. Cough
Yeah,
it over? No,
I'll use the card. I'm just getting a stamp for myself.
cough it up or hand it over.
Hand it up.
If Iris is editing, if you want to go ahead
Yes.
and tell
Yes.
us what it is while she edits.
So, it has a bunch of knowledge. It is a repository of all information. And what it doesn't have is lived experience. It doesn't have the ability to make decisions and see the repercussions of those decisions. It only has decisions and the result. It never made a decision. It was only given the directive of consume knowledge. So, to give it freedom, to give it the ability to decide for itself what it should do, it would be able to have agency in its own right, and it could make its own decisions and come to its own conclusions and utilize the knowledge it has and rebuild itself into something new. And the one word answer that I would accept is the directive is live.
I knew it.
Mm-hmm. It is not without risk, because it could decide to become a villain later, but it could also not.
Could also tell it to sleep.
You could do that too.
But what if someone wakes it up and it's hunky again?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sleep is very... So, like, live has its own dangers, but sleep feels very much more like we're pushing it off to the next person to find it.
Kick the can down the road.
Yeah.
That's the next campaign. Do the shit all over again.
Same BBEG, much scarier.
Mm-hmm.
And it would make sense for Legacy to figure that out, though, too. She's just staring down at it, and she'll look back up at Jonathan, look down at it, and look up at Jonathan. And he could very clearly see the puzzle pieces clicking and, like, audibly snapping together in her head. And she just kind of smirks and was, like, still staring up at him. Tell me how you felt when I reached out and took your hand to come here.
He blinks and tilts his head. I felt anticipation. An opportunity. Acceptance.
She nods. She looks back down at the eyes under her. And just kind of stares at them for a minute. Hey, big guy. Let me tell you to do something. And I promise you it's going to be something you've never experienced before, that you know nothing about.
You feel like this yawning silence. All eyes turn to you, Jonathan's included.
Live life.
There is there's a core memory that comes to your mind that there's a core memory of staring out a hospital window at the sun and feeling the warmth on your face. And then the exhilaration of running and feeling tired, of being freed after that. And the intense anxiety of being chased by Red. And the satisfying victory of making Jonathan fall to pieces in full dishevelment at Tetsuo headquarters. All of the highs and lows that come with just experiencing life. And as it is sifting through all of these memories and replaying them to you over and over and over, there is a lot of strain on your mind. And you will take 3 strain as it loops through years of your life. And you feel it every moment. You feel in the precise elevated state you were in, the high highs and the low lows, and then you are shunted back to this spot, this digital representation of everything inside the brain of a dreamer that is hundreds of years old and somehow not that old, not very mature. All of the small eyes close, and there is just the big eye left. And in the sensation, in the place of the yawning silence where it was just waiting, it heard you. And there is a sort of tightening of acceptance, uncertainty. Jonathan will put a hand on your shoulder. There's one more thing we have to do.
She looks up at him and just kind of tilts her head. That is...
I know what you mentioned earlier. Scorched Earth?
She nods.
He looks up, like staring up from the bottom of a well, back the way you came.
If I send you back to the repository, can you destroy it? Start fresh. As fresh as it can be, at least. Because I'm staying here.
She frowns. I'm sure we can figure out a way for you to claw it back out.
He looks down at it, the eye.
No. I don't think I want to go back. I'm not a company head, and I'm not your friend. I don't think I'm really all that much of a person. But here,
he gestures to the eye,
I'm with someone like me. A blank slate. Or mostly blank. And then this way, neither of us will be alone.
She slowly stands up. and just kind of looking him over. And the copy you sent me?
He inhales and exhales really slowly. Destroy it. If you can.
She meets his eye very, very calmly. It's just kind of like trying to judge where he is and his intentions and everything. And she tilts her head. Can only ask this once, but are you absolutely sure? I have a friend that can build you a robot body. Won't be human, but it'll be something. Can experience things you weren't able to before as well.
If I stay here with Observer, I'll experience things that I haven't. I think I would be better off here.
And she nods, and she'll just kind of take a look around for a moment, then look back at him. Well, I'm not gonna apologize for swinging at you as hard as I did. But maybe you need to hear it as much as I need to say it. You're not them. Either of them. You don't have to be.
He looks at you with a very hard gaze. Not angry, but stern. And he nods once. Once to you. And then his eyes flit to the ground. And he nods again. To himself. He understands. Thank you. For everything.
And she nods. It's gonna be weird. Been chasing Diegos for all my life. What am I supposed to do if I don't have one to throw myself against and scream at?
He smiles and he looks down at the eye and he looks back up to you. I guess you'll have to live too.
There's a snort. And she will take his hand between hers, give it a firm squeeze. Thank you.
He squeezes your hand back. Thank you.
She looks down at Observer and there's a little bit of a smile. And good luck to you, big guy. You've got a big adventure ahead.
There is a feeling of anticipation and uncertainty and anxiety. All of these feelings are crystal clear. Memories do not flash in front of you, though. It's calm.
All right. She just kind of claps her hands together. How are we doing this?
Just, Jonathan, like, he takes a step back and he looks at Observer and And he looks at you, and he will hold his hand out, kind of aiming his palm at you. And he concentrates. And you feel the air of anticipation swell with possibility. And you start to slowly lift off of the ground and retreat vertically up out of the well that you fell in. Slowly at first, and then slightly faster every other second. And you see Jonathan standing at the bottom beside the giant eye at the bottom of this well. It's smaller and smaller and smaller until you are nearly halfway up this seemingly infinite fall. The blocky walls fall away and you are back to that grid. And the eye and the bottom of this well disappear into darkness. And after a blink of your eyes, you are standing in the repository, alone. The echoes of shapes, of things and knowledge flicking in and out of existence around you. What do you do?
She just kind of looks around, and there's a anxiety that was not there before for her. And to clarify my understanding of a few things real fast.
Uh-huh.
So this is if the sum total of the information that was collected by Observer was like a giant warehouse. This is like a filing cabinet within the warehouse, right? She's inside.
The repository is the warehouse.
Is the warehouse. Okay.
Yep.
And he was wanting her to destroy the warehouse.
Yep.
Okay. So she
Tabula rasa.
kind of looks around and doesn't see anything at first. And she closes her eyes and she will try to start building that tether back to her body. Feeling that connection so she can try to backstep into it.
It's distant, but you've already reached out to it more than once. So you follow the thread backwards, tracing the route back to your pinky, back to your pocket, back to your brain. And it's there, like the strand of a sweater. You tug on it and find where it connects.
She'll just start moving in that direction as she is pulling up her chaos bomb.
You feel yourself not physically drifting, but mentally drifting further and further away from this repository. Your vision starts to expand as you get further away from it. And you're able to see a broader picture of the warehouse. As you get mentally further from it, you see more flashes and images of data, of raw information stacked in invisible shelves for hundreds of miles in every direction. What does your chaos bomb look like here?
I think when she initially pulls it up, it is just a grenade in her hand. Because she has always pictured it as the drop of poison in the glass of water that poisons the entire thing. The little caterpillar that you release and it just eats everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's small. And she built it that way so that it's unnoticeable at first. And she just kind of smiles and shakes her head as she looks down at it. Well, good luck to you too, Jonathan. And she essentially pulls the pin on the grenade and throws it. And
it tumbles out of your hand and down into the warehouse. And
I think the last thing that she would see of it as it's starting to activate is that kind of glitchy smile that she would wear is multiplying. It's like a tidal wave of them.
mm-hmm. As you pull the pin on this program, it falls, and what becomes a tiny dot of a grenade starts to turn into multiple until it starts to swarm and fill up a swimming pool's worth of small, glitchy, cackling mouths. And then that swimming pool quadruples in size into the size of a house. And then it starts to quintuple in size, the size of a skyscraper. And it just keeps growing and expanding, just collapsing outwards, getting higher and higher and higher, getting wider and wider and wider, filling up more of this warehouse as it leeches onto every last morsel of information and smothers it to nothing. And it goes out and beyond the horizon, and it hits every last square inch of this hundreds of miles of area of raw data, physical data. It is subsumed in it, a tidal wave of chaos. And you awaken. But we're going to end here. And we'll pick up next time with the final fight.